Most people, when they think about dehydration, it's just feeling a bit tired maybe, or
Mm.
dizzy.
Yeah, that headache, feeling sluggish.
Exactly. But what if skipping that glass of water, or maybe just not drinking enough day after day, isn't just making you feel a bit off? What if it's quietly sort of damaging your kidneys?
That's a really important question.
Could chronic dehydration actually set you up for something as serious as, well, kidney failure? That's what we're digging into today.
Exactly. Our deep dive today is all about uncovering that surprising truth. We're going to explore what the science actually says,
Right.
examining how neglecting something so basic, water intake, can have these really profound, serious consequences for your kidney health. It's about understanding that silent stress.
Okay. And we've looked at a whole stack of sources for this, including expert insights from pieces like dehydration and kidney failure, uncovering the truth. These should help us unravel this really complex relationship.
It's a critical one.
All right, let's unpack this. So first things first, let's just quickly touch on what dehydration actually means.
That's starting point.
Simply put, it's when your body loses more fluid than you're taking in, and that throws off this delicate internal balance.
That equilibrium, yeah.
And get this, about 60% of your body is water. I mean, that's huge.
It really puts it in perspective.
It does.
Yeah.
So even slight dehydration can start throwing off critical processes, not just make you feel thirsty.
Absolutely. And the research we looked at, it points to some common reasons why this happens. Obviously, not drinking enough water is the main one,
Sure.
but also, excessive sweating if you're ill with diarrhea or vomiting, fever,
Right.
even certain medications.
Big diuretics.
Exactly. Diuretics, they make you produce more urine, so you lose more fluid.
Okay.
And high alcohol or caffeine intake can do it too. All these things contribute. And if you don't replace that fluid, well, it directly impacts your kidneys.
Okay, speaking of kidneys, I love calling them the body's filtration powerhouses.
That's a great description.
It really stuck with me when I learned they filter about 50 gallons of blood every single day.
50 gallons?
50. To produce just, 1 to 2 quarts of urine? It's incredible. Just highlights the sheer amount of work they're doing constantly.
It really does. And their job goes way beyond just filtering waste,
Yeah.
They're vital for regulating your fluid levels, controlling blood pressure. They even play a role in red blood cell production.
Wow.
And what's fascinating, or maybe concerning here, is how much these critical tasks rely on good hydration. Without enough water, their efficiency doesn't just dip a little.
It really drops off.
Significantly. It puts this profound stress on the whole system.
So, okay, if dehydration makes the kidneys less efficient, how does that stress actually start to cause damage? What's the mechanism?
Well, the first direct impact is reduced blood flow.
Right. Less water, less blood volume overall.
Exactly. Your overall blood volume decreases. So less blood actually gets to the kidneys.
Which means less oxygen and nutrients for the kidney tissue itself.
Precisely. It impairs their function. It's like trying to run a really complex machine without enough fuel or oil. It just won't work right.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that leads right into the second problem. Highly concentrated urine.
Because there's less water to dilute the waste products.
You got it. With less fluid coming in, the urine that is produced is much, much more concentrated. And this isn't just, a different color.
No.
No, it actually acts as an irritant inside the kidneys. It significantly increases the risk of painful kidney stones forming.
Ouch.
And infections, too. Nasty UTIs, for example. It's like a double whammy hitting the kidneys.
And then there's the really acute risk, right? The immediate danger.
Yes, acute kidney injury, or AKI.
AKI, okay.
This is a sudden, really sharp decline in kidney function. It can happen quite quickly. And if it's not treated promptly,
It can lead to kidney failure.
it can progress to full-blown kidney failure, yes. Severe or prolonged dehydration is a major trigger for AKI.
Okay, so that's AKI, the sudden one.
Yeah.
But it's important to distinguish that from chronic kidney disease, right? They're not the same thing.
Absolutely not. AKI, as we said, comes on fast hours to days. And it's often reversible if you catch it and treat it quickly. Think extreme dehydration, major blood loss, maybe a reaction to medication.
Right. But chronic kidney disease, CKD, that's different.
Very different.
Yeah.
CKD develops slowly. We're talking months or usually years. And crucially, it's often irreversible.
Yeah.
And here's the link back to what we were discussing. Repeated episodes of dehydration, even if they're not severe enough to cause AKI each time, they can contribute significantly to the development of CKD over the long haul.
So chronic dehydration just puts this constant quiet stress on the kidneys.
Exactly. That's the danger. It's this gradual wearing down, this silent accumulation of damage rather than a sudden crisis like AKI.
That makes me think, who needs to be most aware of this? Who's most at risk? I think it's important for listeners to consider if maybe they or someone they know falls into a higher risk group.
That's a really good point. Our sources definitely highlight older adults.
Why is that?
Well, several reasons. Often, their sense of thirst diminishes, so they might not realize they need water. They might be on medications like those diuretics we mentioned.
Right.
And just generally, kidney function can become a bit less resilient with age.
Okay. Who else? Athletes. People working outside.
Yes, definitely. Anyone losing a lot of fluid through sweat needs to be really careful about replacing it properly.
Yeah.
Athletes, outdoor workers, absolutely.
Makes sense.
And we should also add people with existing chronic conditions like diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure. Their kidneys are often already working harder.
So dehydration adds another layer of stress.
Precisely. Children, too, they can lose fluids relatively quickly.
Yeah.
And people who drink a lot of alcohol or caffeine.
Because of diuretics.
Exactly. They increase fluid loss. So, it really raises the question, how aware are you really in your daily life of these risks, both for yourself and maybe people you care about?
That's a sobering thought. It really makes you pause before grabbing that third coffee or, pushing through a workout without enough water. It's easy to just ignore it.
Until you understand the potential long-term consequences, yeah.
Thankfully, the body usually gives us warnings, doesn't it? Before kidney problems actually start.
It often does. There are early signs of just dehydration itself.
Like what?
Things like dry mouth, feeling tired or fatigued, headaches.
That classic dehydration headache.
Exactly. Dark yellow urine, or maybe you notice you're not urinating much at all. Dizziness, maybe a rapid heartbeat. Even confusion or irritability can be signs.
So recognizing those early signs and actually doing something about it, like drinking water, that can make a real difference.
It absolutely can. Responding early might help prevent that long-term damage we've been talking about.
But what if it progresses? What if the kidneys themselves start showing signs of distress?
Okay, that's when things get more serious. Warning signs that the kidneys are struggling could include things like swelling, especially in your legs or ankles.
Fluid retention.
Yes. Also, a noticeable reduction in urination that isn't just about being thirsty. Urine that looks foamy or even bloody.
Oh, wow.
Persistent nausea, maybe a metallic taste in your mouth. Sometimes high blood pressure can be a sign, or shortness of breath.
Okay.
And the crucial thing here is if you experience these kinds of symptoms alongside those general dehydration signs we just mentioned, that's a big red flag.
Seek medical help immediately.
Absolutely. Don't wait.
So beyond those general signs of kidney trouble, what about specific problems? Like what actual ailments can dehydration trigger in the kidneys?
Okay, well, we touched on kidney stones already.
Right, from the concentrated urine.
Exactly. That concentration allows salts and minerals to crystallize and form those incredibly painful stones.
Okay, what else?
Urinary tract infections, UTIs. Again, low urine volume, less flushing action. It makes it easier for bacteria to take hold and multiply in the urinary tract.
Makes sense.
Third, there's electrolyte imbalance. Dehydration messes with your fluid balance, and that directly affects crucial electrolytes like sodium and potassium.
And the kidneys regulate those.
They do. So imbalance stresses the kidneys, and it can also have serious effects elsewhere, like on your heart rhythm.
That sounds serious.
It can be. And finally, just to reiterate, the most severe immediate complication is acute kidney injury, AKI. We see this particularly in hospital settings or among the elderly when dehydration gets severe.
Right. It's clear there are some serious potential consequences, and this isn't just theory, is it? The science backs this up.
Oh, absolutely. This is where it gets really interesting, moving beyond the mechanisms to the actual evidence.
Yeah.
Numerous studies confirm this link. It's not just a hypothesis.
What kind of studies?
Well, for instance, there is a significant study published in a major kidney journal, Nephrology Dialysis Transplantation. It clearly showed a higher risk of developing chronic kidney disease, CKD, in people who consistently drank low amounts of water.
So a direct correlation.
A direct correlation shown in a large population. And organizations like the National Kidney Foundation, a leading authority,
Yeah.
they explicitly warn that chronic dehydration can impair kidney function over time and actually accelerate its decline if you already have some kidney issues. The medical consensus is really clear. Your kidneys depend heavily on you staying properly hydrated.
Okay, so the message is clear. Hydrate.
Mm-hmm.
But How much water do we actually need? You hear so many different numbers.
That's true, it can be confusing. The general guidelines our sources point to are around 3.7 liters a day for men.
Which is about 15.5 cups.
Yeah, roughly. And for women, about 2.7 liters, which is closer to 11.5 cups.
That's just a baseline, right?
Exactly. It's a general guide. You likely need more if you exercise a lot, if you lift some more heart, if you're sick or recovering.
Bring in our breastfeeding, too.
Definitely. Those increase your fluid needs. But there's also an important flip side here.
Don't overdo it.
Right. Avoid overhydration. Drinking excessive amounts of water too quickly can lead to a dangerous condition called hyponatremia.
Which is low sodium.
Low sodium levels in your blood, yeah. That can be serious. So it's about balance.
Okay, so balance is key.
Mm.
What are some practical ways to stay hydrated? Some smart strategies?
Well, the sources suggest some really actionable things. First, start your day with water. Just make it a habit.
Good tip.
Second, don't wait until you feel thirsty. Thirst is actually a sign you're already starting to get dehydrated. So sip water throughout the day.
Keep it consistent.
Exactly. Also, remember you get water from food. Things like cucumbers, oranges, watermelon, even soups and broths contribute quite a bit to your fluid intake.
Oh, yeah, I forget about that sometimes.
Easy to forget. And if you are drinking things like alcohol or coffee, try to balance it out with extra water because, remember, they make you lose fluid.
Good reminder.
A simple visual check. Monitor your urine color. Pale yellow is generally the goal. Dark yellow means you probably need more water.
Simple but effective.
And hey, if you need reminders, there are apps for that. Hydration reminder apps can actually be quite helpful for some people.
Technology to the rescue. What about other drinks? Can things besides plain water help?
Yes, absolutely. But you need to choose wisely. Herbal teas are generally good. Coconut water can be helpful for electrolytes sometimes. Oral rehydration solutions are great if you're ill and losing fluids rapidly.
Okay.
Even diluted fruit juices can contribute. But the key word there is diluted, what you generally want to avoid or at least limit significantly.
Sugary drinks.
Sugary soft drinks, yeah. Energy drinks too. And again, excessive coffee and alcohol because they can actually dehydrate you further in the long run.
Right. Okay, so let's say someone's listening, and maybe some of this is ringing alarm bells. They're thinking, maybe my kidneys are feeling a bit stressed.
Mhm.
What should they do?
Okay, good question. First step, if you suspect dehydration is playing a role, is to start rehydrating immediately. But do it gently.
Sip, don't gulp.
Exactly. Sip water slowly. Don't chug huge amounts at once. That can be a shock to your system. Also, a quick but important point, be careful with over-the-counter painkillers, specifically NSAIDs like ibuprofen or naproxen.
I like that.
They can sometimes be hard on the kidneys, especially when you're dehydrated. So unless your doctor has specifically told you to take them, maybe hold off.
Got it.
But the most important thing is if you have ongoing symptoms like that swelling or persistent nausea or changes in urination we talked about, don't just try to manage it yourself.
Medical help.
Get medical help promptly. See your doctor. They can assess the situation properly.
And ask about tests.
Yes, ask about kidney function tests.
Right.
They might check your creatinine levels, calculate your eGFR, that's estimated glomerular filtration rate, basically how well your kidneys are filtering, and maybe check your BUN, blood urea nitrogen. These tests give a clear picture of kidney health.
Okay, that's really helpful advice.
Oh.
So let's bring it all together. The big question we started with. Can dehydration actually cause kidney failure?
And based on everything we've looked at,
The answer seems to be a clear yes.
yes, absolutely. Neglecting your hydration, especially chronically, can silently pave the way for serious kidney problems.
Now, maybe a single episode of getting a bit dehydrated won't cause lasting damage for most healthy people.
Probably not.
But repeated or prolonged dehydration, that definitely seems to weaken the kidneys over time. It can lead to chronic issues, and in severe cases, yes, even kidney failure.
It underscores how vital water is. So the takeaway really is, don't wait for thirst to be your only reminder.
Be proactive.
Be proactive. Protect your health with probably the simplest, most affordable remedy available. Just clean, regular water intake.
Yeah.
And maybe a final thought to leave people with. Considering how fundamental hydration is for your kidneys, what other, perhaps less obvious parts of your body might be silently benefiting or maybe suffering based on your daily fluid choices?
Oh, that's interesting.
How could really tuning into this shift your awareness of your body's other subtle signals? Something to think about.
Definitely something to think about. Well, that brings us to the end of this deep dive. Until next time, stay hydrated, stay healthy.